Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you how I painted these beautiful sunflowers, and I use a reference photo. You can find a link in the description section. Now this one is a very cute mini canvas with sunflower that I painted before. This is so cute. This is a 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches mini canvas, especially even cuter with this mini easel. I like it a lot. Alright, so let's start. This is the canvas panel that I'm using today, which is 8 by 10 inches. It's a good size and not too small, not too big. It is easier for me to make this video, and I like to use some acrylic colors, which is getting dried faster than the oil colors. And I'm using this, my favorite flat brush, for painting the sunflowers today. First thing first, so right now we should start with do a little simple sketch. I'm using this raw sienna color with a lot of water, make it light, and do the sketch of the flowers on this canvas. So there are 4 sunflowers that I want to put on this painting, and each of them are just like a donut. The center of the flower is a round shape, and then the whole flower is a round shape as well. So 2 circles for indicating 1 flower. So let's paint the petals of the flowers. We use some cat orange color and cat yellow medium color for the petals. Let's get some orange color first. If you want, you can add a little bit to make it brighter. That depends on your, how's the look of your orange color. If you feel it's dark and you add some yellow. So we start from the side, very close to the center first. So let the brush barely touch the canvas, and then we press it down, and then we twist it. Let the brush slightly leave the canvas surface. So the twisting is very important because you don't want your petals look the same to each other. You want them to be unique shape, just like it's not real that all your petals look the same, or there's from the different angles. This flower, the petals, this flower is not faced to you, and then there must be a side of the petal longer than the other side of the petals of this flower from your angle. But you know that you don't have to make it perfect for the first layer. I'd like to build up my paintings with a lot of layers because I feel that is give me the chance to correct my fault before, or to build up a realistic feeling, subject. So for the first layer of this painting, you can just start practice how to paint the sunflower petals. So now what I'm doing is I use some yellow color, yellow only, but maybe there's some leftover orange color on my brush, but it's not a big deal. So I do the yellow color for the petals from, do the same process but from the opposite starting point. Before we do the orange color from the center to the edge, and right now we do the yellow color from the edge to forward to the center. Now we have some raw amber color, which looks really like a black color, and some red color on the palette. Now we mix the amber color with the raw sienna to make the shadow color for the center of the flowers. The center of the flowers has some shadows because the angles from your side is different, so the shadows position is different as well. So we should look at the reference photo and to see where the shadows exactly are. Now let's get some water for the brush, and when the brush is very wet, and let's mix the shadow colors with the background sketch colors together to make it softer edges. Now we rinse our brush and get some orange color, and then we use this orange color to indicate the brighter parts of the center of the flowers. So don't worry, the orange color will mix with the shadow color together, because that is natural, make it even more natural. So now we add more orange color on the palette, and we're going to add more petals of each flowers. Right, so now let's rinse our brush and get some amber color to emphasize our shadow parts of the flowers. Get some red color, and we're going to emphasize the joints between the petals and the center. You can see from the reference photo that I call it the root of the petals. They are having some shadows or darker color from the orange colors. So I use this red color to emphasize this part. And now is the time to paint the leaves and the stems for the flowers. So let me get some green color, and I want these stems and the leaves of these 4 flowers to be brighter than the from the background color. So I add some yellow color and I use this bigger flat brush to mix them together, and then use this color to paint the stems and the leaves. The sunflower, is a pretty big flowers than the roses or peonies, so the stems of them are stronger than the rose stems, so we don't have to worry about that. If we paint the stems too strong, too chubby, you don't have to paint it skinny, so just paint it as your sketch. And then we do the leaves. You don't have to paint every big and small leaves from exactly the same from the reference photo. You just indicate some of the leaves that you think is good to show over there. Consider about the composition of this whole painting. I only do these leaves. Good. So now after it's done, I use the brush directly with the green color and to touch some amber to make it really dark green. You can see that I'm trying to use my darker or lighter colors by using the exist colors that on my palette. I believe that actually a lot of artists doing the same thing. They don't use the black color to make other colors darker, and they don't use only yellow color to make other colors lighter. They're using the like the ambers, the sienna, these colors that already they use on some other parts of their paintings to mix with other colors. So I think that the reason of doing these color mixing things is because that the colors on the painting, on the same painting, they have some kind of relationship from each other. So they have some same part from each other, so make it really unified. Alright, let's back. So we use this dark green color we made by using the phthalo blue, not phthalo blue, sorry, the phthalo green and the amber color together for the background color. You can see that I only paint like almost half of this painting from here to here. This area I'm painting with this dark green color as the background color, because the other parts will be the sky color as the background color. Let's change to the smaller brush. I use a very small detailed brush to add the background color, which is really next to my flowers and the flower leaves. So just fill the gaps. Don't worry if you use the background color covered a little bit edge of your petals, because people using the background color to sometimes to refine the edges of their flower petals. Now I use a little blue color and a lot of white color to make this really light blue mixture to cover the other half of my background. This is the sky on the back, and I'm going to put a little bit more blue within this mixture to cover the corner and let it blend in with the lighter part. Now I use a lighter green color to repaint the stems and the leaves in the front to give it more depth. And I do even a light green to give it even more depth. Now I give the petals more orange. And more orange for the light part of the flower center. Now add more shadow of the flower center. Now more yellow for the petals. If you use more different yellow colors or different orange colors, and your flowers will be more vibrant. You can see that I paint my flowers layers by layers. I'm not only paint the shadow part one time and then it's done, but I paint them one time and then the second time and then the third time. Actually, why I did this, because if you do it in this way, each time you're not mixing up exactly the same colors. So each time you paint and then you make your object more realistic. I'm using my detail brush to paint the petal root, that small, dark, little leaves, and using different colors to make the sunflower seeds. Color seeds need to be in the dark part of the center, and the brighter color seeds need to be on the brighter part of the center. Now I use the background color to paint between the petals, between some of the petals, because the petals are not touching each other completely. There's sometimes they have a little gap between two petals, so that would be more natural to add this detail. Painting the second layer of my sky. This time I use a lighter blue because the first layer getting dried and the color is darker and I want my sky to be brighter. Some different greens to paint different leaf shapes on the background color to indicate there are more sunflowers, more leaves behind these four sunflowers I painted in front. Then another layer of the seeds. It's the time to sign. Basically, this is how I paint my sunflowers. I hope you guys enjoy my video. Before I put this painting in my Etsy store, I add more details. This is my final touch list for your reference. If you have any questions, you're welcome to leave the comments. Please feel free to check out my Etsy store and my eBay shop. The links of them are in the description box. And you're very welcome to follow me with my Instagram. Thanks for watching. See you next time.